There were indications that something was brewing between Twitter and Elon Musk, but it came as a surprise to many when on April 14th, the world's richest person announced his intention to purchase Twitter for $43 billion. A lot of chatter has happened since then, and Twitter, which sees Musk's bid as a hostile takeover, is busy strengthening their positions for what could be a messy boardroom battle. But the question is, why is Musk trying to buy Twitter? In today's video, we're going to talk about the incredible master plan of Musk and how he wants to change Twitter. Let's get started. 1,000 years ago, on April 4th, 2022, Elon Musk announced that he had purchased 9.1% of Twitter. The news that the world's richest man was now the largest shareholder in his preferred social media platform sent the stock price soaring, and many a keyboard a typing. Musk immediately set about soliciting suggestions about ways to improve Twitter by, what else, tweeting a poll. The company responded by offering him a board seat, a move that would have restricted him to owning just 15% of the company. At first, he said yes. Then he changed his mind and said no. Anyone who's been in the market to buy a house knows about best and final offers. In his opening salvo, Musk claims his bid to buy Twitter is exactly that. Whether that bolsters his position or ends up painting him into a corner, it's too early to say. But it is clear that he's offering Twitter's shareholders a pretty fair premium. $43 billion for a company with a $37 billion market cap. Musk says that Twitter must go private in order to undergo the changes that need to be made. These include an edit feature, an open source algorithm, less moderation, and a higher bar for removing offending tweets. Shares of Twitter soared 25% in pre-market trading on news that Elon Musk had personally bought a 9.2% stake in the social media company, making him its largest shareholder. The stake, revealed in a regulatory filing, was amassed before Musk criticized Twitter in, yes, a series of tweets, questioning the company's commitment to free speech and wondering whether a new social media platform was needed. With more sway over the company, will he try to reinvent Twitter to be more to his liking? Now, why would the world's richest person want to buy into Twitter? It's not a wildly profitable company. It's not even a top social media outlet like Facebook or TikTok. While the investment has goosed the company's stock by 25%, providing Musk with a bigger bank account, money can't be his main motivation. Instead, it seems that Musk has belatedly reached the altitude where many of his fellow oligarchs dwell, a place where owning big media conveys status upon them that is beyond money. Viewed from that angle, it's not strange that Musk has invested in media, only strange that it took him so long. Tesla famously does not spend on marketing, does not have a PR department. He literally, with his account, replaces entire corporate functions. One of the most brilliant ways he uses it is in how he replies and how he elevates other accounts. Then, once you elevate an account, they essentially remain loyal to you. People regularly tweet how proud they are that he replied directly to them. At every level, he is the best user of the platform. For years, everything Musk tweets has been under scrutiny, in particular from the Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC's job is to make sure that if Musk tweets from the hip, whatever he says doesn't jeopardize the stock market or people's investments. August 2018 was when it really started. Elon Musk had tweeted that he was considering taking Tesla private at $420, and then followed up and said that funding was secure. Those tweets sent Tesla's stock flying. Then the SEC saw them and sued Musk for misleading investors. In September 2018, the SEC and Musk had reached a settlement. First, Musk and Tesla each had to pay $20 million, which, for the now world's richest man, obviously this stuff is nothing. Musk could no longer be the chairman of Tesla, and Tesla would have to put in place a process where any of Musk's statements, blog posts or tweets or anything like that, had to go through some kind of legal process to make sure that they were vetted. Everyone joked it was like Musk's Twitter sitter, his babysitter, overseeing his tweets. Based on his Twitter, it seems like Musk has not listened to his babysitter. In November 2021, he polled his followers on Twitter on whether he should sell 10% of his Tesla shares. They said yes, and Musk sold $16 billion in stock, which triggered a broad Tesla sell-off. Yet again, the SEC was not thrilled. There's good reason to question Musk's claims that he wants to take over Twitter in the name of defending free speech and civilization. But it also makes sense that for Musk, it's not really about the money he would make or lose off Twitter's bottom line. Musk's interest in owning or reshaping the company shows just how valuable the platform is, even if that value comes in the form of soft power. Twitter is, in many ways, a platform of the elite. While it can sometimes elevate the voices of ordinary people who don't command massive followings on the platform, it's most powerful as a communication tool for already prominent and influential people. Though it has about 200 million daily users, Twitter has had an outsized role in shaping politics, particularly in the US, as the former platform of choice for Trump until the end of his presidency, when he was permanently suspended for tweeting in support of the January 6th Capitol riot. Twitter is distinct from Facebook and Google in that the financial markets don't truly reflect its full power, which is why Musk can entertain the idea of buying the entire company with a fraction of his total estimated net worth of over $220 billion. The same VIPs who boost Twitter's value by tweeting all the time can use it to wreak havoc. Influencers have used Twitter to push conspiracy theories like QAnon into the mainstream. Politicians have used it to threaten violence, and celebrities have used it to promote harmful health misinformation. As a result of all these issues, Twitter has in recent years expanded its rules around thorny speech issues, like labeling false election claims or misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines. In its new era, Twitter has begun balancing its commitment to letting people say what they want and minimizing the harm that people can do using its platform. For Musk, there's value in being the person who sets those terms, and he's made it clear that he will err on the side of allowing as much controversial speech as possible. But allowing absolutely free speech is easier in concept than in practice. If Musk were to buy Twitter, its moderation rules around topics from hate speech to threats of nuclear violence would ultimately be at his discretion, or at the discretion of the leaders he puts in charge. If another major tech company like Facebook or Apple tried to buy Twitter, that would likely set off antitrust concerns. But there's nothing under US law stopping an incredibly wealthy individual like Musk from buying a company with so much power, even though there's an obvious possibility that Musk could use the platform to shape his own business or political interests. We don't yet know what will come of Musk's expressed interest in buying Twitter. It's worth noting, however, that despite being the richest man in the world, he may not have the liquid cash to do so, since much of his wealth is tied up in stocks. But this saga highlights how valuable Twitter is, regardless of its bottom line. Musk has repeatedly referred to Twitter as the de facto public town square of the modern era, the digital equivalent of a public forum. To that end, he's been critical of Twitter's decision to permanently ban former President Donald Trump from the site, following the attempted insurrection at the U.S. Capitol building on January 6, 2021. Based on Musk's tweets, it sounds like he'll push for looser moderation on Twitter. He demonstrated this sentiment at least once in recent weeks. At his satellite internet startup, Starlink, he refused requests by some governments, not Ukraine, to block news broadcasts from Russia. Elon said in an interview, "We will not do so unless at gunpoint. Sorry to be a free speech absolutist." Another point Musk has raised in the past involves Twitter's role in shaping society. He polled his followers last month on whether they think Twitter's algorithm should be open source, a term for software that's distributed freely and able to be manipulated openly by many different contributors. Some of Musk's anticipated proposals speak more to his personal use of Twitter than anything else. For example, he's previously stated he wants to get rid of crypto spam bots, spam accounts promoting what appears to be crypto-based scams, which often use Musk's Twitter likeness. Musk has called the spam problem on Twitter the single most annoying problem with using the service. He's even publicly pleaded with Twitter to do something about the issue. How long must this go on? He asked in February. Musk is in favor of the edit button that Twitter users have been requesting for years. He supported the long-running hope that Twitter would someday add an edit function to its service so that users would be able to fix, at the very least, basic spelling errors or mistaken links immediately after posting. His 80 million plus followers overwhelmingly supported adding the function in a poll he ran last month. Lastly, if another major tech company like Facebook or Apple tried to buy Twitter, that would likely set off antitrust concerns. But there's nothing under US law stopping an incredibly wealthy individual like Musk from buying a company with so much power, even though there's an obvious possibility that Musk could use the platform to shape his own business or political interests. We don't know yet what will come of Musk's expressed interest in buying Twitter. It's worth noting how, despite being the richest man in the world, he may not have the liquid cash to do so, since much of his wealth is tied up in stocks. But this saga highlights how valuable Twitter is, regardless of its bottom line. That wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay notified about our uploads. I'll see you next time. Till then, peace out.